would like to look at the place of Sundays in Lent. And it is because in an earlier presentation, I had said that the Sundays in Lent do not belong to Lent. I would like to, in this presentation, clarify that position a bit more so that we will understand what I meant by saying that the Sundays in Lent don't belong to Lent. Again, I go to Pascalis Solemnitatis. It says that the Sundays of Lent take precedence over all feasts and all solemnities. Solemnities occurring on these Sundays are to be observed on the preceding Saturday. Now, when I read this, it struck me very strongly. Two things struck me very strongly. One, it calls the Sundays in Lent the Sundays of Lent. So that underlines the fact that the Sundays in Lent actually belong to Lent. So we need to keep that point in mind. And then even says that because they belong to Lent, they have a higher standing than solemnities. Now, you know that solemnities are the highest celebrations in the Catholic Church. For example, the solemnity of the Assumption of Our Lady. Now, what he's saying is that if the Assumption falls on a Sunday in Lent, which is not possible because Assumption is in August, but if a solemnity falls on a Sunday in Lent, the solemnity gives way to the Sunday in Lent because the Sunday in Lent is higher. That's really very interesting. Then the other document, the Universal Norms on the Liturgical Year and the General Roman Calendar, states that the Sundays of Lent are to be called first, second, third, fourth, and fifth Sundays of Lent. So obviously from these two documents, the Sundays in Lent are Sundays of Lent. Therefore, they belong to Lent. So let me correct the earlier presentation I made in the earlier video. But the question then is, why do we have the impression that the Sundays in Lent don't belong to Lent? Now, what marks the Lenten season is fasting, abstinence, prayer, and almsgiving. Now, because Sundays are the day of the resurrection, we celebrate the resurrection, we do not fast on Sundays. We do not abstain from meat or other things on Sundays, because Sundays mark the resurrection. So when we look at the fasting period of the church, in earlier times there was a time that they fasted every day of the period of Lent. So Sundays were exempted from the fasts. So that was what created the impression in our minds that Sundays were not part of Lent. So we want to underline it. We are not supposed to be fasting and abstaining on Sundays in Lent. And in fact, every other Sunday in the year. Why? Because the spirit of the season affects Sundays. And how do we know this? So now we want to look at the penitential character of the Lenten season. And this is underlined by what the document Pascalis Solemnitatis states can be done and cannot be done within the period of Lent, as far as liturgical celebrations are concerned.